Good morning. Nasty day yesterday. Looked like it was going to have that counter trend rally a couple of times. It never happened. And that was during MT Live, actually, part of it. And I sat through, that was a long time sitting through having a profit, a loss, a profit, which eventually turned into a small loss as the markets jiggled up and down. You can kind of see it here just looking at the S&P. It was about 6 hours, or no, maybe 4 hours or so of, I guess a lot of people bottom picking there, looking for a counter trend move, which would have made sense with such a big gap. And then the continuation to the downside, there would have been some kind of a rally, but nope. The institutions were just banging the bid and on the offer throughout the day. And when it didn't go up, well, before it didn't go up, it actually sucked in a few, which, you can't blame them. You're thinking, well, it's not going down, but it's not going up. And then right at the end there, near the end of the day, it looked like, okay, it's finally here, the rally that of whatever extent it was going to be into the close. And it turned out to be a breakout failure, and down it went. So it was, after the initial move down, it was a frustrating day, long or short for the most part, because it just went nowhere. Anyway, where's it going to go now? Well, there's nothing to the left to stop it from going down. If I can scrunch that up enough. Yeah, as you can see, there's just nothing there. So when I look at the chart and I look to the left and I say, well, where would anyone want to buy that would make sense just based on support and resistance? And that's down here. So somewhere, hopefully it just dives down there this morning. We'll see where the futures are. But the ideal scenario in a situation like this is that it just keeps plummeting and gets extended to the downside, down to support. And you'll see there, down there once before, and then this consolidation prior to that last rally, where you get a bounce. Now from there, damage has been done on the weekly time frame. So just holding this low after such a big bar like that, granted news events circling around this market, maybe things just turn into a big trading range. Who knows? The election thing next Tuesday, Wednesday will probably be Tuesday night, and Wednesday probably be a kind of wild days. So, what the future brings so far, we've got a top in place here. And so I don't know that it really makes much difference whether it breaks below this low or not at this point. It had the retest, it's down hard, and as I said, the damage has been done. So we'll see how it all unfolds into the future. We'll take a look at the internals since we had such a nasty day yesterday. And so breadth now has gotten to a bullish extreme. You can see the breadth minus 2,500. And that's historically, you get a turn within a day or two, with such an extreme. It doesn't mean it turns the trend around by no means whatsoever. But when it's that extreme, you're typically going to get some stabilization. Now, I'm a little disappointed that this put call ratio, these option traders have just been, you can see over here while it was going up, just buying calls. And say, okay, well, it was going up. But at some point, the party had to end. And, so when breadth, agreed on the bearish side, it wasn't that long. And we got the little accelerated move. And then it started the correction. We got the sell signal. And then we got a little minor sell signal right here at the top. Now, it's been such a long time that these bands have gotten such a high level. And I created these many, many years ago, and they've worked well for, pointing out when breadth has reached a bullish extreme. Now, historically, the static level for a bullish extreme is down here, but possibly because of this market the bands will work. We'll see. Like I said, it's been a long time. So they are, based on the bands, at levels now where the market should turn. News driven. We'll see. Next week things they'll clear up after the election as everyone digests the results and the implications of that. So futures are up here a little bit, and they were higher overnight a bit, back down. And I kind of like this pattern at the open. I want it to go down, but this pattern of this shallow retracement and then a slight break of the low with a wide range bar and stabilization historically is one where prices try and move back up again. We'll see how that plays out. The 5-minute is still in a downtrend here in all time frames. So it's still got more work to do. As I said, the ideal scenario is for it to come down here. So we'll see how it unfolds. NASDAQ's up a bit. Remember yesterday, pre-market, it was showing a little relative strength, and it was able to do that for a while before it really gave it up and really took it to the downside, joining. So stabilization again. We got the same M top in place, same analysis. It's showing that relative strength. It's not as far down here, but with again a wide range bar, the expectation is for a consolidation day. So I hope not. I hope it just plummets. As I said, that would be great for getting extended and buyers being willing to step up here. Reading Trader McGraw's comments. Okay. YM already down at the low. So pushing below, showing relative weakness. But again, the new low, making the new low with the wide range bar, in a downtrend like this often results in a counter trend move. And this one's at support, so it would make sense. Unlikely it's going to go it alone. You just go and look at the next level, which is down here. There's a little something here, 26,000, a whole number, 200 MA. So we got a relatively wide area here for buyers that might focus on a moving average, or these swing lows are more likely what they'd focus on. Let's just see where the Dow is, or the 200. So yeah, 26,200 or so. So 26,000 as well, and about a 10% correction from the high here. Is that, was it there? Let's just see. Maybe not. Let me see here. Maybe not. This. Get rid of that. This. Yeah, about a 10% correction down to these swing lows. So around 26,000. Looking at the the actual Dow chart, not the futures, would make sense. A move down there to at least get a bounce. Damage has been done, no doubt. But this market has been one in where, who cares? It's damaged. Buy it anyway. So we'll see. And I mean, there was no place to hide yesterday. Selling was everywhere. Even gold, which I was hoping could make this. It's not totally out of the woods, but obviously damage done as far as the shakeout scenario. It had to get back above here. So now it's back down. Buyers stepped up here, or the beginning to anyway. We'll see if it holds. Oil, not a good sign. Kind of leads into the idea that the market continuing to move to the downside here this morning. And silver coming down to the low. Transports. Everything is broken now. So all of these charts would suggest that we're going to see lower prices. New highs failing. And again, we'll see what happens on Tuesday and the long-term implications of that. So it's a period of uncertainty for sure. And this market has been one that there's been plenty of patterns of uncertainty. And this is one right here. Where you get an uptrend and you get, a couple of months of just chopping sideways back and forth, which makes it difficult. You have events, as we call them, such as this, where you do get moves and then this fails, or gap downs that don't follow through, and bottoming tails and topping tails and overlapping bars. And those are just pictures of uncertainty, plain and simple. And when we see them, we know exactly that whether, you're an institution with billions of dollars to invest in a team of analysts, or you're just in the green room, doing your thing, and we're deciphering what's going on. It doesn't matter what your resources are. The charts say that everyone is pretty much confused. So, you look for charts where ideally they're, you have multiple time frames in alignment that are moving up as they were at various times. The Qs were doing the best, but when you have multiple time frames, that's, as we look at our moving averages, they're related to multiple time frames. And when you have them moving up as they were here, the odds are in your favor. So now, as we look at what's becoming a sideways type of correction, a wide whippy sideways type of correction, as we get toward the end of the year and into next year, will we be looking at daily charts where all of these moving averages are aligned and pointing to the downside? So, what we have right now, is looking at the Qs, is a misalignment of time frames where this uncertainty as to whether this is just a correction after, this big move up, or whether it's a top where things are going to roll back over again. So, depending on your political bias, mine would be, because I'm hoping that the status quo for the most part stays as it is or improves, that this is a correction that started with our internals getting an extreme, but a correction through time of the uncertainty of whether it's China, the election, and everything else, that this sideways correction unfolds and the status quo stays as it is, and we resume the uptrend. And that would be very nice for everyone, the economy, market players, and so on and so forth. So right now, we are in a kind of a wild holding pattern here as to which way things are going to go until we have more information. All yours, Daniel.
Good morning. All right, there was so many earnings today. I went through and I deleted a bunch of them already just to speed up the process. And I gave you a big list of kind of the put and call credit spreads that I think are candidates. Let me post it here again for you. A bunch of them. So we're extremely light on inventory. So nothing to say about them. We'll just go right to gappers here. Pen, huge gap, too big, nothing to do, solo. little electric company, electric car. Perking here a little bit. That's worth watching. Maybe a 30-minute high. Triple U 448. Gap's too big. Delta X-ray. Somebody, John, just emailed me this a few moments ago, and I said it's sloppy, but it's a wide range breakout bar, daily, weekly, with a price void. So it's worth watching. TCDA, ugly gap in the downtrend, no interest, gap's too big. NFE, that was a beautiful 180 reversal at the high with a climactic sell setup, topping tail on the weekly, but now it's gapping down big, so I'd be taking profits if I were in it. Myrna, there's a lot of trades that are kind of gapping over this end of day bearish base. This one though is still gapping to a brick wall, so I don't like that one. But let's look at the fangs. Look at this. That's a beautiful pattern for day trading, closing at the low and then gapping over these red bars with a price void. So this is a put spread candidate, maybe the 270s. I don't even need to go all the way under the low. That's a bullish gap. Let's look at all the fangs here. All right, so this one, it did not gap over this end of day trading range, but if it can go sideways for a couple hours and then break the neckline, then that would be a day trade long inverse head and shoulders. The daily's still cracked. I got no interest in these for swings. Amazon, same. Google, that one actually for a day trade, that looks the most ripe, RIPE. Look, it's gapping right to resistance over this red bar. If it can, this might be a fantastic 30-minute high day trade if the market's rallying. That looks good. I mean, if it's earnings tonight and people start buying, I could easily see 1550, which is what, 26 points. On Netflix, we actually sold a put spread yesterday, and then that was right when the breakout failure and the spiders right there. So we've got a put spread on Netflix, but no pattern now. Tesla under yesterday's low looks like a short. Had a breakout failure, churning its way lower. The 20 MA curling over here. YouTube's asking about F-Sly. F-Sly short, they're asking. And no, I mean, it's down too many bars, just grinding lower. So it's just a grinding pattern, but it's up here a little bit pre-market. So that's kind of junk right now. I don't know what to do with that. This gap in the 47. Let's see, what's this high? So it's gapping over yesterday's high, of which you can easily see here. So maybe, put spread idea. WDC, here's a similar one. I would never swing this. The momentum's down. But if we can get some 1 DTE put spreads, I'm okay with that. So that's a watch for a put spread. Overstock here looks fantastic for a put spread. Again, it's gap into resistance, but it's a deep bullish gap over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. So if we can get a put spread right here, 70 or below, here's a pivot right there. Well, that's 69.59. So somewhere below that. But let's see what it does. I put them in a window here on the bottom right. Yeah, look, I was reading, the Journal had another article about Germany and Spain on lockdown. Germany said for a month, lockdown, can't leave your house, restaurants, everything's closed. No, we want no tourists here. Oh, hitting highs, really? All right, look at pins. Pins had earnings, big old gap. Now it's not. I typically like doing the gap and crap when it's a climactic acceleration move up or like a wide range ending bar. And this one's gapping. It's a bullish gap from a consolidation. It's a big old gap, but you know, maybe it'll set up for a 1 DTE call spread. Robert, it's not. Remember, I showed you it's gapping to a wall of resistance. So I'll tell you if any of these look like directionals to me. But no, that was not one. NOW gapping over yesterday's high, but see to a brick wall. So I have no interest in that. Clack. That's in pain. Still looks lower. I'd love to get that around the 200. All right, there's the F slide we covered. This one was rolling over, but now it's gapping up, bullish gap. So Satish is a put spread candidate. See, we got a little shock. All right, so I have that on my list already, Satish. Marvel is buying a company, I think, gapping down 36.50. And there's nothing to do with that. Spot gapping way down here to 260. It's going to be too far away to do a call spread, so no interest there. Etsy could be a call spread. It's a sell setup. It's a beautiful sell setup on the daily with a gap down, bearish reversal. Now it's a sell setup on the 15-minute chart. I'm going to put that in a window. Now this one actually could be a directional, Robert. Let's watch it. But 30-minute low, if it can't get, it's at minor resistance right here from the gap. So if it can't get through that, and it just churns bearish here and then takes out whatever, we'll see, 15-minute low, then yeah, this one looks like a directional short. Workhorse, I don't know if it was earnings or there was other news. Maybe they have a secondary offering, I forget. But, it's on support here. This along with dunking, we're going to try to see when they want to make the turn, but we're patient. Hey, William Whitmire, if you can change your drop down in YouTube. No, John fixed his. All panelists and attendees. John's asking about CCX. I don't like the way it trades. It's just in a bearish trading range. Not sure what your question is, but you can short yesterday's low, John. Well, yeah, I mean, you can leave your house, but they said you're still under quarantine. So I think you can't go out for entertainment. They want you to, be locked down unless it's essential. So William's asking about Twitter, 5153. It is a bullish gap. It is bullish. So you can put it in a thumbnail. Just put it in a thumbnail and see what it does. EGHT gapping over all this. So that is a bullish gap also. But see, it's right here at the prior high. So I don't know. They're not what I call tier ones, meaning they look fantastic. Vichy, your drop down also. Vichy's asking about IQ. It's up right there at resistance, but it's a bullish, very bullish 15-minute chart, so it's worth watching. Again, I'm going to be chilling here at the open. eBay, Jake, I just covered both those. eBay is on my bear call credit spread list. It's a bearish gap under all this consolidation. So McGraw, you're taking notes. You're going to be busy at the open looking for these credit spreads, but eBay is one. I'll put that in a window. ENVA, that's a bear 180, but you have no great price void, John. And it's, it is a 180, but it was a monster range yesterday. So I wouldn't be interested in shorting that unless it consolidated for a little bit and couldn't bounce. RYN, I don't know what to do with that. I'm just gonna delete you. Car gapping up. It's been strong. It's still a put spread candidate. Olson is a mess. I'm just gonna delete you. T-Doc gapping down. It's right in the middle of a trading range. I don't know what to do with you. Maybe a condor for tomorrow. I can't see a gap, but we'll come back to you because I don't know where you're trading. Rengen snap. I'm not sure what you're asking. I mean, it's strong, but I mean, there's no great pattern, so I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, Jesus RH. I have I have in my bear call credit spread watch, and I was actually going to give that official this morning, but the spreads are too wide. Somebody asked me about this in coaching yesterday, about the 400, 410 call spread, and I said definitely the pattern's beautiful. Gap breakdown. Rengen Neo. Yeah, I like the gap in Neo. Yeah, that one looks good. Maybe 10-minute high. Let's put that in this window. Neo's not bad. Mo, call spread candidate, breakout failure with a price void. The problem is getting a far enough away strike. Dave, ILMN. Yeah, that looks like it's opening flat. Yeah, that looks like a day trade short. I like it. Yeah, that looks like a great short. I'll put that in a window. Yeah, very nice. Edward, your drop down. Pins, day trade long. It's just not my style, Khalid. The gap's too big. There's no pattern. You can feel free to put it in a 5-minute thumbnail and tell me what the setup is and where your stop is, and then I'll look at it then. But scalp is not a pattern. Put it in a 5-minute window and just tell me before you hit the button, and I'll tell you if I like it or not. All right, ILMN. Okay, yeah, that's fine then. Day trade, I don't mind trading an earnings stock. A Twitter long put spread, maybe. Yeah, Twitter I like better than pins. The reason it's gapping over a red bar and it's not as extended, and I have a bullish pre-market. So yeah, if you can get a put spread under yesterday's low, Tehran, particularly if it's tomorrow, then yeah, I like it. What, it had earnings pre-market, I'm assuming? Hey, look at Debbie's GNRC. We entered that yesterday. That was a beautiful setup, Debbie. Or is she still